Alright guys, so I'm going to play some Barbatos in this gameplay, and I'm going to talk about how to counter the character. I think that's the best way to go about it. If I show you what a Barbatos wants, then you can understand how to stop it from getting what it wants. This first section of this map is not a very good one for Barbatos. I'm going to try and play it like to the max of the abilities essentially, but you guys are going to have to well, it's a good opportunity to understand like why it's bad in this map and how you can use that to your advantage in other situations too. So the reason it's bad is because it's nice and open. Barbatos thrives really well at like being hidden, jumping onto someone, hitting them, and getting out, right? This map is a lot of open space. If they see me and poke me out before I go in, or see me dashing into them, I can die. Now, in that situation, what the RX-78 should have done to stop that was, when they saw me, understand exactly what I'm trying to do. I am exactly trying to sprint into them, hit them, slam them, and get out. There's just nothing else I'm going to do. So you should have backed up a little bit, should have given me some space. You have to, like, it's kind of silly to be completely honest, but you have to respect a Barbatos. You have to. That's why it's frustrating, and that's why I think it's broken against characters like Sazabi, just because it doesn't, just because Sazabi shouldn't have to do that since they're supposed to be this big beefy tank. But you do have to do that, and so you have to like prime in your mind to dash away. Like okay, I'm going to dash. I know he's there. I'm going to dash. Comes in. If you're confident enough, you can dash away. Then dash away right when they do it, and then start shooting them. But if you're not confident, just increase your space, and it'll give you more and more time. Against that Zaku, also, he should have been listening. You can kind of hear the charging sound of my slam ability. But again, like that's a little bit of one of those just frustrating situations where it just happened to be there when I was gonna frag it. For this situation, I'm trying going over the top here a little bit. Again, look, really in this situation, there's no way I should be able to get a kill from that. The reason that I was again able to kill, I think that's the same as that guy actually. Yes, it is because he doesn't ever dash away. He needs to understand that if I'm trying to jump onto, if I'm like gonna do something stupid like that, right, and just leap in like this, they need to dash away, right? So this guy hasn't understood in his mind that he needs to dash away. You have to understand against the Barbatos that your only job is to get away from them. You get away from them, it buys you some time. Like, let's see you do it again. This guy kind of understands, but these people don't. And again, like, they don't really know that I was there, but probably should have, you know, I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell, but basically all you have to do is understand that when there's a Barbatos on the enemy team, you need to be cautious, you need to be paying attention to where it is. Basically, like what's about to happen here when I sneak up on some people and slam them in the face. If you don't know where the Barbatos is, you can die. So you always need to be watching for it. You need to be listening for it. As soon as you start hearing the sound of it charging, like its little dashes, that means you need to like get out immediately. Or just ult it, right? See, apparently that works too. Stuns are very good against Barbatos. In that situation, the Zaku was on his toes, hit the stun into me, and killed me. It's definitely worth it to just pop a solo ult onto a Barbatos like that in that situation. But again, it's all about paying attention to where they are. The first rule is to pay attention to where they are, try and guess, try and predict where they're going to be. And then if you're having, like, if there's an extra, like, little thing you can do with that, which is to, on top of just trying to predict where they are, you intentionally, like, gosh, I'm just rolling these kids. Here I am trying to tell you guys how to stop this stuff, and I'm just doing it to them right now. That feels kind of bad for these people. Oh, I keep stuck against a wall. Again, I didn't really do the ability correctly, but that Barbatos was being very silly in that gameplay, just because you have to understand, like, look, if you know where the Barbatos is, you don't just walk around a corner, right? So if I run around this corner as the Barbatos and I'm standing right here, you don't just go like that, right? You dash to the side, see that I'm there, and then you dash back, and then you click on me, right? Like, you have to understand that that's not a good thing to do. Like, again, I'm going to try and do it right there. The Zaku just played well and rotated away from me. I can't get this health pack. I'm kind of in a rough stray. I'm probably going to die here, right? But that Zaku played well. Like, the Zaku's adapting. The Zaku knew that I was going to be around that corner and then rotated out. Well, let's see what this Turnagain does. So yeah, they just pretty much reacted pretty well to that. Same sort of thing. Obviously, you really want to be trying to finish these kills when you get a nice little dodge in that and a stun on that, but that's just a mechanical issue on their half for this section. The thing that I was going to mention about how you're supposed to really defeat a Barbatos is to try and position yourself in a location in which they have to spend more time in the open space, right? For example, if they're playing right around this corner next to me, it's not going to be that hard for me to hit them. I was like so close to getting a nice fall amount of damage on both of those people, but if they're playing right here, right, it's not hard for me to go around the corner and hit them. If they know that a Barbatos is coming and they're playing against a Barbatos, you have to respect it, so you play further back. You play in position to further back so that when the Barbatos shows up, it's not me turning around this corner and hitting there, it's me turning around this corner and having to dash all the way in, you know? Like for example, right now if this Pale Rider knows I'm here, he should not be doing what he's doing right now. Like, he ended up reacting well and baiting me there, but it's not as good. Just turn the corner wide. Like I said, if I've been a better Barbatos player, I probably would have been able to secure the kill there. Just because they only have 2 dashes, I have 3, right? So I can dash onto them like that, which is what I really should have done, right? And they only have 2, and so they literally can't outrun me. So let's try that here. If they know I'm here, do they push this? If they do push it, they should push from like over on the corner there, as far away from me as possible, or just walk away. And see, that's really good. They're starting to respect me as a player and as a like this as a Barbatos essentially. Alright, this guy keeps unintentionally hitting me. He's searching for me. No, get away from me. Let's go play from the Stormtrooper. And just as a Barbatos player, when you see someone at a range like that, like I'm trying to force it essentially to show you guys like how good of a range I can abuse the situation. That guy misperformed there. Don't use transform to try and get away from a Barbatos. It's not fast enough. You just dash. Just dash, just dash. I'm shocked that I missed that. And apparently we aren't even going for that at all. Now we are. That's good. But unfortunately we let them destroy that. But yeah, as you can see here, basically it's a common trend of people either not respecting the range that I can play at and the distance I can cover, and not playing their distance essentially. So the issue with this game in regards to Barbatos is just that Barbatos has the ability as a damage-based character to one-shot things. That's not fun. There are ways to play around it in most situations, but certain characters can't. For example, Sosby's can't really play around it, and they as a character that's supposed to be able to be a main tank and control a lot of space can't do that against this character. Because the Barbatos has the same effective range as the Sosby, or really the Sosby has the same effective range as the Barbatos, meaning that they can't like poke them out from range before they get to them, and also meaning that they can just lose that situation. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, no. I need to be paying attention. That's how he died. He didn't look around. Especially against a Barbatos. Like, if you're a sniper and you're standing on the high ground, just expecting a Barbatos to, like, not do that to you, you're trolling yourself. Because even if I had him in a Barbatos, I wouldn't be able to kill him, you know? When playing against a Barbatos, always expect them to flank from the route that is has the most cover. As you can see here, I think they just heard me. But we're going to go from where they have most cover. And these guys over here don't know I'm here, so we're going to see if we can get a kill on him. Exactly. He committed his jump too, or his dash too early. He needed to dash. He needed to wait until I was already on top of him to do that. Okay, that guy just actually doesn't move his body. Again, guys, look, if you're not even dashing, if you're not even attempting to dash away from a Barbatos and you're complaining about it, then that part's on you. The character's busted, don't get me wrong, but that part's a little bit silly. This guy didn't respect the range of a Barbatos again. He saw me over here, and he's kept poking out too long. You can't do that against a Barbatos. You have to understand that they're going to be looking for you, and they can hunt you down. I have way more movement than an RX-78 Gundam has. I have twice as much movement, so they have to expect that. Now that G maneuver just popped up, and they know where I am for sure, that's not really something I want to mess with too much. But again, like I knew exactly where I was, you know? And he chose not to respect it in the slightest. So some of these things are honestly completely avoidable. Not all of them, to be honest. Not all of them. Some of them are me just kind of like getting lucky and walking around a corner with my hammer and they happen to be there. But most of them are me kind of going. Most of them are just them not really like playing intelligently around me, essentially. And that one with the Tornado Gundam was definitely like that. The time where like the Ashura tried to fly away instead of dashing, like all those kind of things are just really, they're on them, not so much on something I've done really. And that's why people kind of like, they'll kind of look at this character as if it's like just like a noob stomper, right? That's what people call it. And yeah, it does have the ability to do that kind of stuff, but it's really more than that, just because of the fact that it can deny the positioning of people, because it can one-shot tanks. So against like a melee Zaku, it's not as good against melee Zaku, because melee Zaku could dash away and bash it, but really against a Sazabi, you can't hold your space against it. You can't play around corners, you can't hold chokes like you want to. And that part does make it inherently broken. And again, in the hands of a very high skill player, that also makes it pretty broken. But me playing against like some of these characters, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's extremely frustrating for these people, but it's not that way because like the character's broken. It's that way because they're playing poorly. Again, I mean, that guy kind of saw me go for that, didn't he? He saw me stand right next to him and he's kind of waited around. It's just not respecting the fact that you're going to one-shot. But that's why when on a character that you can respect it entirely, like on Sazabi or something like that. Like I keep using Sazabi because that's really the issue. It really is how it counters Sazabi. That's one of the issues, how it like inherently counters Sazabi. But then inherently how it isn't fun to play against, because nobody likes getting one shot regardless of whether they're playing well or not, you know? Like for a lot of people, I can't I guess I should just cancel that, but I can't diffuse through the slam animation. So just to wrap it up really quick and explain what happened, you really need to focus on playing your distance whenever a Barbatos shows up, respecting it and respecting the fact that it can kill you and one-shot you, and avoid that. If you know there's a Barbatos swing wide on angles, always be ready to dash away and always be searching for it. If you can position yourself in a location that's nice and open, where a Barbatos doesn't have any good angles to come from, although I know that's kind of an issue in this game just because of the fact that there are a lot of close spaces, but if you can do that, that'll make your chances of success way higher also. So yeah, leave any questions in the comments and I'll try and get to them. So yeah guys, thanks. If you're looking for some more Gundam Evolution videos, then make sure to check out my mobile suit guides. I made one for all original to 14 mobile suits, and I did a Should You Main guide series also, covering the same mobile suits and talking about whether you should actually main them in Gundam Evolution or not.